Hey guys, I hope all is well. Thank you for joining me for this Truth Talk episode. In today's episode, we will be talking about the dark truth about Hollywood's biggest actors. Let's get right into it. Hollywood, or like some people call it, Hollyweird, is full of strange mysteries. Every time I take a look into Hollywood, I find more proof that proves the industry is ran by a particular group. The biggest actors might have the world admiring them, but what did they truly do to have that fame? Today's episode is actually a continuation of my previous videos on Hollywood actors. For this video, I have found a few big names that openly show they took the Masonic oath. Just like in the last video, these actors have been a part of some of Hollywood's biggest movies and have made it to the top of the industry. In the first episode, we covered Jack Black, Al Pacino, and Robin Williams. And in the second episode, we covered Denzel Washington, Will Smith, and Martin Lawrence. This time we're back with some more of the biggest names in Hollywood who took the Masonic oath. The first actor we're going to be talking about is no other than Ashton Kutcher. Ashton Kutcher is one of Hollywood's most recognizable faces. He got his start in acting all the way back in the 90s, getting cast to play the role of Michael Kelso on That 70s Show. He was originally discovered by a talent scout in a mall, getting picked up for a modeling gig. After a while in modeling, he would become successful, but would eventually leave for the big screen. This is when he left his home state of Iowa for Hollywood to audition for the life-changing role on That 70s Show. This role would introduce him to superstardom, introducing him to other Hollywood roles. After this, he would get casted to act in several comedies like Dude, Where's My Car?, Cheaper by the Dozen, and Just Married. In 2003, he would get one of his biggest looks yet, and possibly what he is mostly remembered for, his own show called Punk. The show was given to him by no other than MTV, the Masonic TV programming network. I'm certain most of you remember Ashton Kutcher fake pranking just about every popular celebrity. In the 2000s, Kutcher was everywhere, a successful young actor whose overnight success story is almost unbelievable. He went from just walking in a mall in his hometown to getting discovered and becoming a Hollywood superstar overnight. He must be one of the luckiest men in the world. On this channel, we know this is not how Hollywood fame works. We know that in order to have the glory in Hollywood, you must take the Masonic oath. When it comes to Ashton Kutcher, I have undeniable evidence that he took that very oath. We have seen with countless celebrities, they always reveal who they truly serve if you pay close enough attention. That's exactly what I found when it comes to Ashton Kutcher. We can see Kutcher openly displaying that he took the Masonic oath. In this photo, we see Kutcher openly wearing a Masonic square and compasses hat, which is literally the emblem of Freemasonry. He didn't just wear this hat on one occasion, as in this photo with his wife Mila Kunis, who happens to be another Masonic puppet, he is wearing the square and compass hat. In another photo, we can see Ashton doing the Masonic hidden hand gesture, secretly telling the world that he is a master Mason. Not only is Kutcher a Mason, but he is also a member of the Kabbalah, another occult group that is often referred to as the Jewish version of Masonry. Many celebrities are a part of the Kabbalah, like his wife Mia, and other celebrities like Madonna, Ariana Grande, and Angelina Jolie. Just like the rest of the puppets, we can find Austin doing the one-eye symbolism pose. I believe Kutcher paid the ultimate price for his fame and fortune, and like many others in Hollywood, made a ritual offering to have the world. See, back in 2001, when Ashton was an emerging star getting role after role, his then girlfriend at the time, Ashley, was taken out in her own home the same day she was supposed to go on a date with Ashton Kutcher. Ashley was found in her home with several wounds, as it appeared she was attacked by a crazed home intruder. According to reports, Ashley was actually waiting on Kutcher the night this happened to her, but apparently, he just so happened to be hours late to pick her up. Years later, the case would be solved, and the woman's attacker was a man called the Hollywood Ripper, or Michael Thomas Gargalo. Michael was allegedly responsible for this crime, and one of another woman. According to reports, he was an inspiring actor who lived close to the victim. During Michael's trial, Ashton Kutcher would be called to testify in the case. Kutcher stated that when he got to her house, no one answered the door, so he figured she had left for the night. Before leaving, he claims he decided to take a peek inside of the house, spotting red stains on the floor, but he thought it was just wine, as she had recently had a party at her home and thought someone had spilled wine on the floor. Throughout the whole trial, Michael denied being responsible for the crime, but still got found guilty and even being given the death penalty for his crimes. I was trying to see what evidence they had linking Michael to Ashley's passing, but besides him living close to her and allegedly stalking her, I couldn't find anything else. But when it comes to the other victims he's accused of, his DNA could be found at the scene. Either way, I don't think the situation is just a coincidence. Ashton Kutcher became one of the biggest actors in Hollywood in the 2000s. He got his own show and starred in many movies all after this happened. He also openly shows that he took the Masonic oath and is an occultist. We know if you want it all in Hollywood, you have to pay the ultimate price. What I believe happened in this situation was that Michael was actually being pinned for the crimes of Ashley because he was already going down for similar crimes and also lived next to Ashley. I don't think it's a coincidence that right before Kutcher became a megastar, someone close to him would be taken out. You guys tell me below if you think he has something to do with this situation. Ashton was also seen at Diddy's Eyes Wide Shut themed parties, and we all have heard of what happens at those parties. It's obvious Kutcher was chosen and then initiated. He took the Masonic oath to have the world, just like the next actor we're going to be talking about, Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves is one of Hollywood's biggest stars. He is best known for his role as Neo in The Matrix, a movie still being referenced over 20 years after its release. Keanu's career in Hollywood goes all the way back to the year 1984 when he was working on a CBS show. See, Keanu had Hollywood connections since his childhood, as his mother, a costume designer, married a Broadway and Hollywood director by the name of Paul Aaron back in the 1970s. Even though his mother would end up divorcing Paul, Keanu stayed connected with him, and he would end up helping Keanu start his acting career. In the 80s, Keanu would bounce around several TV shows and movies, making his movie debut with the 1986 movie Young Blood. It wasn't until the 90s that Keanu will start seeing real fame. In 1991, Keanu acted in Point Break, which was a commercial success. In 1992, he would end up winning the Most Desirable Male Award at the MTV Movie Awards. He would then be casted in 1992 to be a part of Bram Stoker's Dracula film, which was another commercial success. In 1994, he would star in the movie Speed, which would be the most successful film he had worked on at that time. The film was a massive success and was starting to paint Keanu as a possible movie star. After this release, Keanu would act in several low-performing movies that he was criticized for having bad performances in. It wasn't until 1999 that Keanu would become the mega movie star he is today. 1999 was when the movie The Matrix was released to the world, and it was a hit. The movie turned into a successful franchise, spawning sequels for years to come. The Matrix was the true turning point for Keanu's career, who had been in Hollywood for 10 years at that point. Strangely, the movie right before The Matrix was The Devil's Advocate, that saw Keanu acting side by side with the legendary actor Al Pacino. In the movie The Devil's Advocate, Keanu plays the character of an ambitious lawyer who wants it all and unknowingly sells his soul to the devil to have it. The devil's ironically played by Al Pacino, who was Hollywood's biggest actor in the 90s. We recently saw in my Paul Walker breakdown that Paul had a similar story to Keanu. He also played in a movie about taking the oath in the movie The Skulls, right before he would go on to do the Fast and the Furious franchise. In Devil's Advocate, Keanu plays a lawyer who unknowingly sells his soul to have the world. In the movie, Keanu is given the world by Lucifer so that he may serve him. Keanu's character then finds out by the end of the movie that he is actually the son of Lucifer, which makes him the Antichrist. This movie is full of symbolism and shows how Lucifer approaches people who wants to have the world and corrupts them. I believe a full breakdown on this movie would be a good idea. Let me know below if you want to see a full video on this movie. What's very interesting is that his very next movie was the hit movie that literally changed his acting career forever, The Matrix. That is not a coincidence at all. This is how Hollywood tells us the truth in plain sight. The movie before his biggest movie, Matrix, that turned him into a superstar for years to come, was the movie The Devil's Advocate, where he sells his soul to have the world. Like I said, if you pay close attention, you would always find evidence of these puppets' alliance. The Matrix movie is a very revealing movie that left many people asking if humanity was truly stuck in the real-world Matrix. What many people don't know is that the Matrix actually isn't about what most people think. Even though it might not appear as true, the Matrix is actually heavily based on religious ideologies, specifically the story of Jesus Christ. The Matrix movie actually mocks the story of Christ in many different ways. First and most importantly, they dropped the movie on Easter weekend, and to many, Easter is associated with the resurrection of Christ. I have spoken about the dark truth about Easter, but we're not going to get into it in this video. This was not done by coincidence. This was done for a sinister reason, and you would see why. There are so many references to Neo being compared to Christ. For example, there was originally only 3 movies, and it's why it's called the Matrix trilogy. We know Jesus was resurrected on the 3rd day after being sacrificed for our sins. Neo's also referenced to as the chosen one, who was sent to free his people, which is another reference to the Messiah. Neo also gets resurrected in one of the movies, coming back to life. Once again, another reference to Christ. Neo also sacrifices himself for the rest of his people, which again is a direct reference to Christ. We know Hollywood loves to mock Jesus, but I believe this is much darker than it appears. As we mentioned earlier, Keanu played a character who was the son of the devil, making him the Antichrist in the movie right before The Matrix. In The Matrix, Neo represents a false messiah who presents himself as Christ who came back to save humanity. At the end of the trilogy, he transcends and becomes in harmony with the machines. The Matrix trilogy announced the start of the Aeon of the Antichrist, or like occultists call it, the Age of Horus, the child god. The very Aeon Aleister Crowley swore he would usher in through his teachings. Ironically, this movie came out in 1999, 1 year before the beginning of a new century. The new century that occultists thought would be the start of the Age of Horus. This is what the Matrix movie is truly about, and this is what Keanu was chosen to be a part of. The reason I believe Keanu was chosen for this role was because he himself is a Masonic puppet. I have found photos of Keanu showing that he indeed took the Masonic oath. In this photo here, we see Keanu doing the one-eye symbolism, just like we've seen from so many other Hollywood celebrities. He can be seen covering one of his eyes, showing the world that he took the oath. Even more evidence, in countless photos we can see Keanu doing the Masonic hidden hand pose, showing that just like Ashton Kutcher, he is a master Mason. Not only in one photo, but in several photos he does the hidden hand. We can also see Keanu throwing up the Masonic horn hand gesture in many other photos as well. It's obvious that Keanu took the oath, and it's the reason he was chosen to act in The Devil's Advocate and then The Matrix. Another movie that showed Keanu in the world of the occult was his movie Constantine, based on a DC comic book. In the movie, Keanu is a demon hunter who needs to win God's grace in order to go to heaven. We see Keanu in the movie deep into the occult world and using all sorts of ritual magic. There's a reason why Keanu's at the top until this day, one of the biggest actors in Hollywood, and it's because he took the oath. He took that oath long ago and is still serving the order, just like the next actor we're going to be talking about, Leonardo DiCaprio. Leonardo DiCaprio is considered to be one of the greatest actors of all time, most notably known for his performances in movies like Titanic, Catch Me If You Can, Blood Diamond, and The Wolf of Wall Street. Leo has built himself to legend status in Hollywood. He has been acting since he was 14 years old, getting casted in several commercials in the 80s. But it wasn't until the 1990s that his career would truly begin. In the 90s, after almost quitting acting altogether, Leo would be cast in the show Growing Pains in 1993. This helped him land his first successful movie role in the movie What's Eating Gilbert's Grapes. This movie opened the doors for Leo, who was nominated for an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor. After this, Leo would go on to act in his biggest movies yet, the movies that made him the superstar he is today. Interestingly, his performance in What's Eating Gilbert's Grapes was what sparked his career, and I have found proof that this movie was made by the Masonic Order. In one of the scenes from the movie, at the 1 hour and 7 minute mark, the character Ken Carver was seen wearing a Masonic square and compas's ring. This small gesture is how Masons secretly honor each other. The movie that took Leo to the next level was Masonic Programming for the Masses. I believe this is when Leo was introduced to the occult. Just like the rest of the Hollywood puppets, Leo shows signs of being a Masonic puppet through the one-eye symbolism. In this photo, we see a young Leo doing the Masonic 666 hand gesture, placing it over one of his eyes. While researching Leo to see if I can find any more evidence of him being a Mason, I found plenty of people saying he was indeed a Mason and that he openly revealed it in an interview on the German television network RTL. Now, I found some German interviews, but I don't think it's the same interview, and it's hard to tell because I don't speak German. If any of you speak German or have seen this interview, please send me the clip. I'd highly appreciate it. What I did find was many online official Masonic Lodge sites citing that Leo was a famous Freemason. This means it is 100% possible that Leo announced he was a Mason on that interview long ago. These lodge sites only post public Masons, never Masons that choose not to reveal their affiliation. It's obvious Leo's a Masonic puppet, being a part of the industry for most of his life. Hollywood got him at a young age. What's interesting is that in the movie What's Eating Gilbert's Grapes, Leo is seen acting next to Johnny Depp, another Masonic puppet. I have made a full video on Johnny Depp, proving he is a Masonic puppet. We can find countless photos of him doing the one-eye symbolism. Photo after photo, he covers one of his eyes to show he's a Masonic puppet. Depp also has photos like Kutcher and Keanu Reeves doing the Masonic hidden hand pose, openly showing the world that he is a master Mason and proud of it. Johnny Depp also has a very close relationship with Marilyn Manson, the rock star Satanist that's accused of terrible evil by many women. There are still so many actors I still haven't covered that took the Masonic oath, like Mark Ruffalo, who just like Depp and the rest of them in this video, can be seen doing the Masonic one-eye symbolism, showing he took the oath. He can also be seen doing the Masonic hidden hand pose, showing that he is as well a master Mason. Mark was asked during an interview for the movie Now You See It Too if he thought the Illuminati was real, and he straight up told the interviewer yes.
But Now You See Me Too, like y'all deal with the eyes, the secret society, and in the world there's always this conversation about the Illuminati and skull and bones. Do you really think that we have secret societies that's like
Guaranteed.
But I promise you, there are all kinds of people, whether it's a secret society or not, that are making big decisions about the rest of us behind closed doors. You know, that supersedes any kind of political power or legal power or what have you.
They decide who we're going to invade next. They decide who's going to be the leaders. They decide all kinds of, absolutely, no question. Well, do you think we really live in a democratic country?
Doesn't seem like
super delegates. How is this a democratic country?
Super delegates. I don't know. Deciding who they're going to vote for even before there's been a single debate. I mean, come on, man.
Yes, it's terrible. When you look at the process, I don't even know how we could teach kids what the process is these days, because they could see that it's a shame.
I can't even let my kids watch certain debates because they're so crass, talking about their, hand sizes and whose wife is uglier and all the ugly stuff that they're saying to each other. I can't let my kids watch. I can't let my kids watch a debate.
What have you come to, man? It's unbelievable.
It's pretty bad.
As you heard for yourself, Mark tells the interviewer that he knows that there's a secret group that runs the world. In my opinion, he said this because he's a part of it. He is another Mason who can't even deny it since he decided to reveal it to the world with the Masonic hidden hand pose. In fact, there are so many actors that reveal themselves with this very pose, so many famous Hollywood faces who took the Masonic oath. And as you can see, we might just need a part 4 as there's still so many Hollywood puppets pushing the Masonic agenda. We can see so many of Hollywood's biggest stars doing the same Masonic pose, and I can assure you it's not a coincidence or a Hollywood gang sign. It's a symbol of Masonry. If you guys want to see a part 4 of Hollywood's biggest actors exposed, let me know below. This is the reason I always tell you guys not to be manipulated by these puppets. They took the oath and chose to serve the agenda created to destroy us. We must not let them destroy our minds with their programming. Well, like I always say, we must remember that every day we wake up, our souls are at stake. And we also must remember to help those who can't see the truth find the truth. That's it for this video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I just want to give a special shout out to the Truth Movement members. I truly appreciate every single one of you. If you'd like to further support the channel, join the Truth Movement, or you can join me on Patreon where I drop exclusive videos monthly. The link would be in the description. Another way you can further support the channel is by checking out the Truth Fist store and seeing if you find anything you like. Every purchase you make goes directly to helping the channel and furthering Truth Records. Also, please leave a comment on your thoughts below and on any future topics you would like to see me cover on my channel. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you can be notified when I drop new videos. If you like this video, please leave a like as it helps other people find these videos. You can also find me on TikTok and Instagram and follow me there for more truth. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.